Hey crew, just want to take a couple of minutes and talk to you about the CrossFit Open and why I believe it is important for us to participate in that event. So a little background information. The CrossFit Open is the initial stage to the CrossFit Games, which is a worldwide competition that CrossFit athletes compete in to see who is the quote-unquote fittest in the world. The CrossFit Open is the first stage of that, and it is open worldwide, and then as you move forward, you have to qualify to advance into stages. And when you get to the CrossFit Games, you're talking about elite professional athletes. But for us, average Joes, the CrossFit Open is really the competition that we have to focus on in a given year. And I believe it is really important for us, average Joe athletes, to participate in this event for a couple reasons. One, you are in some self-discovery mode. You find out things about yourself that you didn't know and you didn't even think you could know. Give you a couple examples. One, we see breakthroughs all the time in the CrossFit Open, whether it be a PR with weight, whether it be a new a muscle up that you had never done before, you get your first double under. Those types of breakthroughs happens all the time in a CrossFit Open, and you really don't find those discoveries throughout the year very often, or at least in the way that happens in the CrossFit Open. So this idea of self-discovery is really crucial. The second thing is you get uncomfortable. You are forced to be uncomfortable during this competition. It's 3 weeks this year, and the workouts are tough. There's just no getting around that. But beyond tough workouts, you are forced to do movements that you might otherwise either scale out of or avoid or just don't like doing. You just wouldn't do them in a regular workout, because as coaches we have boatloads of scales and modifications that we can use on a given workout. Well, you can only modify so much in the CrossFit Open because there is a scaled division. And so they mandate the scaled options, the scaled movements that you have in a given workout. And when you are forced to do things that you might otherwise scale down from, that's when you find some of that self-discovery. But that only happens when you are forced to get uncomfortable in these workouts. So you find out that you can do things that you didn't think you could do. That's one sort of route that can happen. The other route is one of failure. And that word gets a bad rap, and we tend to have a negative connotation with failure, but quite frankly, failure is a good thing. Failure is not the same as failing. And so when I talk about failure in the context of a CrossFit Open workout, it forces you to evaluate where the holes in your game are. And so the next year or the next few months, you have some real focused areas that you can work towards to see if you get better, more skilled, fitter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There is also value in having to show up and perform. So typically what we like to differentiate between training days and competition days. And training days, you can modify and alter based on how you're feeling. I didn't sleep great, or my diet's not been great, or I'm really stressed from work, or what have you. We can always modify the workouts so that you can get work done, but it is not, as prescribed or as some sort of competition. This is a competition, which is a different game, meaning it doesn't matter if you slept bad. It doesn't matter if you're feeling tired. You have to show up and do the work. And again, there's real value in being uncomfortable in those types of environment. The last reason that I believe it's important for those of us that are average CrossFitters to do the CrossFit Open is this community support. One of, if not the coolest experiences that I have ever had in CrossFit, still to this day, I've been doing this almost 8 years, is my first Open in 2013. And the workout was 17 minutes of burpees and snatches, so not the greatest couplet of movements for many of us. And the weight got more challenging or got heavier as the workout went on. And I at that point had never snatched 135 before. I did it 20 times in that workout, and I don't say that to gloat because it's nothing to write home about. But what is I did that because of the energy that the box had that night. It was a bunch of people in the box that night. They were all sitting around, cheering each other on, screaming, pulling for each other. It was a really, really great experience. And I want to regain some of that. I want to have that box community and that box support sort of thrive throughout the Open. And I want you all to experience that as well. It's really, really a great thing when particularly you find out that you can do something that you didn't think you could do, and it happens in front of your box mates with the energy is just through the roof. It's just the coolest thing that we do in CrossFit. So if you talk to any other people that have done the Open before, they could probably give you a half a dozen other reasons that you should try the Open. But those are my big four. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'd love to answer any questions that you might have. We're going to post the registration link on this particular post. So hopefully you sign up, and we'll see you at the box.